Yeah, let's talk about girls a little bit. Holy
Yeah.
smokes, we've been chopping it up for about 50 minutes. All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the ladies. Um, where do we start? What's your life like with dating right now?
Um, so so right now, I've been, I've been single for a while. And I've been pretty like, for me, I've been pretty casual. So I will, you know, it takes a lot to capture my attention. Now, right now, I'm actually seeing someone, but it takes a lot to capture my attention. So typically, most of the year, most of the time, I will go on dates with different women, maybe have a few girls going on, and then if I'm not like crazy about a girl, then it's probably just gonna we're gonna hang out for maybe a few weeks, a month, and then it's just kind of gonna fizzle out.
Mhm.
I'm not the kind of person that kind of keeps a rotation going on for a long time, just because I kind of I'll get bored.
Mhm.
And I actually like even like a few months ago, I felt so happy. I'm like, you know what? Like I cleared out the rotation, starting from scratch. And so I meet girls from I'll meet girls from Instagram and going out
Is that where you
and
source most of them from? Instagram? Is it dating apps? Is it girls that you hire for modeling stuff?
I when I was like really building my business at 21, 22, like I was Tinder. Like
Mhm.
Tinder was like just was insane. Especially, I don't know, like it depends on like I mean, back then it really depended on the city, because that was when the Tinder was kind of beginning. But like in Toronto, Tinder was like nuts, like nuts. Toronto and LA. Now I don't really do as much of the online stuff. I definitely find like Instagram is better for finding like more like the type of it's more targeted for towards my type.
Mhm.
But yeah, pretty much Instagram, going out, and and that's pretty much it. I don't really. I think I've used Hinge before, but nothing that like used Hinge a little bit.
I know you said that you watched a few of my videos last couple of days. Did you get across any of the content that sort of explain, arousal and desire with women, like the red pill sort of stuff?
I've seen some interviews. I don't think I got into that 100%.
Because I mean, like, what I'm actually known for is not like doing these podcasts. I mean, the podcast is what I enjoy. Like, the whole reason why I started the channel, guys, is because I like hanging out with entrepreneurs, with fast cars and kind of mashing those ideas up and talking about cars and business sort of stuff. But I kind of fell into the like women part of it, and people know me, because I'm red pill. I wrote a book called The Unplugged Alpha, and it's sort of, how you like fix guys' bodies. I
Yeah.
kind of fix their heads, right? So guys that have a good body, that have a messed up head, that are watching Greg right now, and you're not doing well with women, just watch my shit, and it'll come to you, or just read my book. But I'm just wondering how far through that you got. Like, is there anything with women that has surprised you or shocked you, or violated like any kind of beliefs that you had? Because I mean, like, as kids, we're sold like a Disney-esque sort of story. There's sugar and spice and all things nice, and the prince and the princess. Like, have you seen? I
Yeah.
mean, you must have seen some stuff that's been like, wow, I didn't know women were capable of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I probably was very similar to you, where growing up I had this Disney ideal, and women are freaking perfect and amazing. And then you kind of then you kind of you get your reality checked in,
What was your frying pan of the forehead moment, like your reality check sort of thing?
I don't know like if there was like necessarily one moment. I'm sure, I don't know, probably like dating the first girlfriend, whatever. And then, kind of then like, first girlfriend, and she kind of just she's talking to some other guy, and things get a little messy. But it's very, you kind of you pretty much realize that, like, if you're a high value man, you know what you're doing. Like, women can get swept up and sleep with you like very, very easily, but then make Joe wait till like after a month or two.
Mhm.
That's like that's kind of a realization. So like a lot of guys, when they're more inexperienced, they get like obsessed over a girl, and they're like, oh, like, and then they get caught up, but they don't think she acts like that with everyone. They don't know how she'll act around like a high value man that kind of knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Did you ever have like a moment that sort of like red pilled you?
Yeah, no, I did. I basically I think like I've naturally deep down been like such a nice guy and a good guy. Like when I was young, even when I first got Tinder, I felt guilty talking to two girls at the same time. Literally, that's how much of a fucking
until you figure out their phone is basically a box of dicks and they're talking to like 3 dozen guys.
No, I literally felt guilty. I was like, had this little connection with this girl, and like we're gonna hang out, and then some other girls messaged me. I'm like, I feel bad. Like,
should I tell her I'm talking to another girl?
I know, but then all these girls are talking to like so many guys, and I just remember whenever I just kind of cut myself off from all other women and was like, okay, like this is the girl I'm talking to, like this is who I'm into. Things always kind of went downhill from there.
Yeah.
Like I just looked at the pattern. I'm like, hey, like if I kind of get obsessed with this girl and then I stop I just put all my eggs in this basket before we've started even, like in the beginning process, it always doesn't work out. I always found that like, not anymore, but when I was younger, I was like, if I really, really like, let's say there's like two like very, very beautiful, like there's some guys that just like, cute chick is whatever, and they just want to get loads of numbers. I don't care about that. For me, it's like complete quality. And so like some girls, like literally, I'm just like, they light me up. I'm like, damn. So like, I remember like I had like two insanely beautiful girls I was chatting with, and like one of them I kind of wanted more at the time. I was like, I want her more, and then didn't work out. But then the one that was like insanely hot still, like that one worked out. So it's like it kind of helps to have like a few going on, and a lot of times the one you want the most is the one you'll mess up, especially when you're learning, and then you'll get the second best. So keep them all. But the moment I had that kind of probably like woke me up was basically when I was like, I formed this connection with this girl here in Toronto. We went on a couple dates. Hooked up a little bit, and I was in LA for work for a while, and like we're FaceTiming so much, so much, and then what was that?
She's keeping an eye on you. That's why.
She's keeping an eye on me.
She's trying to anyway.
But she would nip she would nip when I make certain comments, when I'm just kind of being a man and making certain comments. She would kind of nip that. Oh, you shouldn't say that. Or you shouldn't talk like that. She'd kind of be trying to demasculize me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I was a bit of a pussy at the time. I was kind of, that's what happens to some guys. I see them in the relationships, and they slowly get softer. They lose their edge. They get soft.
It's called pussification by 1,000 concessions.
Yeah. And that's also why I've loved being single. It's you just feel like a fucking man. You fucking, you do whatever, it's like, it feels good, but so I let her get, and again, I think it's important. If anyone's retracing their dating history, it's like, look, like, did she? No, I let myself kind of get pussified a little bit. Mm-hmm. Anyways, like she was. Point was that she was back. There was a reading week, or she was back from university, and I literally flew back to Toronto to see her. Like, booked the flight, paid the money, boom, 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 and then went to like meet up with her. But like when I got to Toronto, she was being super distant. I went to meet up with her, and then like she literally like. And this is when we got very intimate emotionally. And then she told me like she told me like she was being like really distant and like mean or whatever, like bitchy, and then she's like, yeah, sorry, I got back together with my ex-boyfriend. And then but before that she mentioned something about her ex-boyfriend, and I was like, hey, like, is this an issue? Should I be worried here, this ex-boyfriend thing? And she was like, oh, no, I'm not into him at all. Like, we had a terrible thing. Like, I'm not into it at all. Like, yes, come to, like, she was like telling me to come to Toronto. And then she fucking pulled that on me. And I just went home, and I was like, I just felt crushed, man. Like, I really, really wanted to see her. And then I was into her, and I shared a lot with her. And then she literally just, she told me that. And man, this event, this hit me hard. And I just remember like fucking being so pissed, and like, even though all that shit, I was like, fuck, I wanted to see her. Like, I got so excited to see her. And then I went on my computer, I opened Evernote, I did some journaling, and I just wrote. And then I just got to that point in like half an hour. And I was just like, I got to that point. I was like, no, she lost her chance. That's it. Like she like that. It's almost like I hit a switch where I was still in pussy mode. And I was like, oh, I still want to see her. Like, damn, and I just hit that switch, and then the switch hit, and I'm just like, don't want anything to do with her. And guess what? Probably, I don't know if it was a week or 2 weeks later, send a text message. Hey, didn't respond. Hey, how are you? Didn't respond. Are you mad? Didn't respond. And then I got fucking essays, bro. I got fucking essays. I never responded. Ever.
You know what women hate the most? Like the thing that motivates them the most when they misbehave is what's called it's either called a soft next or a hard next. And a soft next you usually do for a few days, like you just ignore them. Women hate it when you take away attention, right? That's when they lose their mind and they start writing the essays. Yeah.
She never got it again. Her I was at a bar a year later and her sister came up to me and slapped me in the face. It's like, oh, boy, you do that to my sister. I was like, what the hell? This girl literally made me fly to Toronto, then said, sorry, I'm back with my ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I'm the asshole.
So how old was she?
She was like, I must have been 21. She's probably 19.
Oh yeah. Okay. So she's in the party years, man. She's flipping back and forth is what she's doing.
She's flipping back and forth, but also, you know what? I made the mistake where I was entering her frame and I was kind of getting.
You know about frame?
What?
Oh, you know about frame,
dude. I'm into this stuff, man.
You're good. You're good.
But frame is like very powerful for really any social context.
It is. Yeah. It applies to business transactions, deals, customers, women especially. Like you definitely want women in your frame. Like when she's telling you what to do, for example, like when you're on the FaceTime when you're in LA and she's like, oh, don't say this and don't do that. You're entering her frame, right? Versus like, I don't care what you think, sort of thing, which is her coming into your frame. It's a really interesting dynamic. And I really wish I knew this stuff when I was younger. Like I didn't really get my head fully around it until I was in my 40s. But guys that are learning this from me now as a result of watching my channel or reading my book, like they're really doing a lot better with women in their 20s and 30s, and they're not making the stupid mistakes that I did.
And I've noticed this, certain women, certain even beautiful women, they will test guys. And one of the ways they'll test guys is they will try and take the frame from you constantly.
Yeah, it's a shit test.
I've had this not too long ago where literally this girl is like trying to hold the frame like no one else. And, in little ways. And
boss girl?
What was that?
One of these boss girls?
Yeah. She was like young and hot, but like she was all like taking the I'd say, hey, come here, and like whatever. She would be like, And then I literally called her on it. I was like, what? You have very, very strong frame control.
Yeah.
I literally told her, and she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, look, usually when I'm out with women, they try and be nice, like effortless to hang out with. They're pleasant. They go with the flow, and like you just like to kind of be a little combative and standoffish. Mm-hmm. And I literally called her on it, and I just withdrew my attention, and then she changed immediately.
Yeah, it's amazing how that works. So these like hashtag boss girls that you see out there, like I'm a boss bitch, boss girl, and all that sort of stuff. It's like these women are the worst to deal with because they're going to try to run your life. They're going to want you to enter their frame. They're going to put you through the betatization through 1,000, concessions process. And ultimately she's going to turn you from the, she's going to be like, oh, look, I'm with Greg O'Gallagher and let's have Thanksgiving dinner with my family. Look how hot he is and blah, 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 and successful. And then she'll turn you into some beta bitch within like 6 to 12 months with all that, constant beating you down with the concessions that you make over and over again. So it's one of these things that a lot of guys sleepwalk through in life, when it comes to women and relationships, because they do what, you and I were sold the bill of lies on, which is, well, just be a nice guy, and everything will work out. And, she'll be in your frame and she'll compliment your life and she won't ever, hurt your feelings or go back to the other guy, when you think that you're flying back to Toronto to be with her, sort of thing. It's really, really interesting when you dive down it all.
And you know what? And that's probably one of the big, if someone off the bat is just kind of their operating system is very, very difficult, then that's probably not the girl that you should date. Like I agree fully. But it is really fascinating how I think the biggest mistake that I think I see men make and that I've seen myself fall into before is trying to like the only way to like influence behavior in a positive way is basically just with your attention, and so like that's kind of the big connection that I've made. Like sometimes girls will they'll be shit testing, they'll be taking the frame, they'll be doing this, they'll be, and then they'll just try and like they'll try and chase, and like it's not the move to do that. You just gotta withdraw. There's only it's probably it's very powerful, very powerful.
Are you familiar with the concept of hypergamy?
To a limited degree, not extensively, but
all it really means is that a woman's got to be able to look up to you and see that you're the best guy that she can possibly get with, right? So women date across and up on the socioeconomic scale. It's why, you're not dating women that are equivalent to you or higher. You're dating women that are on the socioeconomic scale, either at your level or below, right? And guys look at women as beauty objects. Women look at guys as success objects. So what it is essentially that they're trying to do is throw a competency test at you, which is also known as a shit test, to see if you're the best guy that they can get. Like, is this guy somebody that's going to say no to me, right? Like they want to hear no. They're never going to tell you, tell me no, but they actually want to hear you no. They want to like get ghosted from time to time if they misbehave so that they can get put back in check. They'll never tell you this. And, women watching this right now, or they'll say, hey, Greg, I saw that interview with Rich and he's lying. He's full of shit. But you use it and you see it work. Don't worry about it. Just watch how they respond to it is all I tell guys, right?
Oh, fact. Yeah. You know what? And it is true. Like if you look back historically at times when you've put a girl on the pedestal and just been available and
treat her like a celebrity, she's going to treat you like a fan, right?
Yeah. Even if you're fucking Brad Pitt doing that, you can, even these like even these some of these huge celebrities that they have girl, like they're getting simpy for girls.
Not
for some one person at least. Yeah.